Now, this morning we've been discussing that it looks like a dramatic week ahead in the Brexit process, with cabinet ministers awaiting the possible announcement of a new Brexit plan from the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, both Boris Johnson and his brother Joe have increased the pressure from either side of the referendum aisle, both condemning her plans as a total failure. Well, what do the opposition have to say about all of this? Let's find out, shall we? Joining us, the Shadow Brexit Secretary, Sir Keir Starmer. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
A lot of people rejecting the Prime Minister's plans already, which is quite surprising considering nobody knows what they are yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, here we go again. Every month we seem to go through this crisis where the negotiations aren't really going on in Brussels at all. They're going on around the cabinet table, and I think it's that deep division that's causing the problem. We lost the October summit. That was supposed to be the deadline. The Prime Minister had said that's the date she hoped to get an agreement by. Now this week, the critical question is, are we even going to have a November summit? And if that goes, simply doesn't happen, then we're into December. So this is sort of month-on-month crisis, but of course the clock is ticking, and crunch time is getting close really now.
Yeah, the clock is ticking. A lot of people want to see what these plans are. Is Labour's position that it doesn't matter what they are, you will reject the Prime Minister's plans?
No, we've never said that. What we've said is it's got to be a good plan, it's got to be the right deal for the country. We're not going to just back something just because it can get through a divided cabinet. And so when Theresa May set off on these negotiations, we said there are some conditions, as far as we're concerned, that you have to meet. We'll obviously wait and see whether she does meet those conditions, but I have to say she's a long way off them from now. And I think that's because she's sort of cobbling together a deal, anything sort of tacked together to try desperately to get it through her cabinet.
Yeah, you want a good plan, you want a right plan, but you do know the essence of... You do know the essence of what may be in there. Be honest with our viewers. What are the odds of you backing the Prime Minister's plans if she comes up with them this week?
Well, as I say, it depends what it looks like. But you say we know what's in it. Obviously, in the last few weeks and months, been a lot of focus on the backstop, what's going to happen in Northern Ireland. There's the other big chunky issue, which is what does the future relationship look like? Now, that's back to the Chequers proposal. We're not talking about that much, but we know very well that's not going to be accepted by the EU, and it's not going to be accepted by half of the cabinet. So to say we know what's in it is a bit...
Are we talking 50-50? What is the likelihood of you working with the Prime Minister? Because if a deal is finally coming, we seem to be on the home straight. Should Labour MPs, especially those in Leave constituencies, of which there are many, vote for the Prime Minister's plans in the national interest?
Well, the national interest is getting the right deal, and one has to ask the question, is the Prime Minister genuinely negotiating the national interest, or is she negotiating what she thinks she can get past her cabinet? And I think everybody knows the answer to that question. She's negotiating what she thinks she can get past the cabinet. So there's no national interest to just sort of back any deal just because it's got the word deal written on it. We'll look at it when it comes back, we'll judge it on its merits, but at the moment the Prime Minister's a long way from home, and this idea that sort of national interest just to back whatever she brings back just because it's a deal is not right. It's got to be the right deal.
Where Labour's concerned, I feel like I'm constantly having to ask you to clarify your Brexit policy. We had thought we got to the bottom of it when you said all eventualities were on the table. There was a new referendum. That was definitely on the table as well. Emily Thornberry saying that again over the weekend. However, the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, confused matters again. He was speaking to a German newspaper and he said that we can't stop Brexit. That seems to be at odds with party policy. So perhaps I can ask you again to clear up Labour's Brexit policy. What is it?
Yeah, let me clear that up, because obviously this was a big issue at our party conference in September, and we had a very strong policy position which was endorsed by everybody, myself, Jeremy, Emily, the whole of the membership, and that is that we will look at each decision as it arrives, we will vote on the deal according to our 6 tests. If it fails our test, we will vote the deal down. If the deal goes down, then we'll call for a general election to say the government ought to go. If that doesn't happen, then all options must remain on the table, and that includes the option of a public vote. So it's look at the deal.
If that goes, Jeremy Corbyn was wrong in that instance. You can stop Brexit.
Well, Jeremy Corbyn, as I say, Emily, the whole of the Labour Party signed up to our policy position. That hasn't changed. Nothing Jeremy has said has changed.
So he was wrong then when he said he can't stop
deal.
Brexit. Labour can stop Brexit.
Well, Brexit can be stopped, but the real question is what are the decisions we're going to face over the next few weeks and months? And decision one is on the deal. Decision two is if the deal goes down, should there be a general election. And decision three is if there's no general election, all options must be on the table, including the option of a public vote. And that's the clear position. And Jeremy signed up to that. I'm signed up to that. And that was the position that was passed at Labour Party.
Is that not a bit of a worry? Labour coming toe-to-toe with the Prime Minister and the Conservatives on Brexit here, and your leader is getting it wrong. He's not towing the party line when it comes to your policy.
Well, Jeremy was dealing with an interview. He was explaining how he approached the referendum. But Jeremy and I and Emily and the whole Labour Party is absolutely behind the Labour Party policy that was laid out in September. That is our policy.
You just contradicted him live on television. This is one of the biggest events to face this country in modern history. And you are not agreeing with your leader. You're both having different stories when it comes to Brexit. You've just contradicted him live on television in possibly one of the most important weeks in the Brexit process.
Well, I don't think I could be clearer. We will look at the deal and we'll vote it down if it doesn't meet our test. If that happens, we will call for a general election. If that doesn't happen, then all options must remain on the table. That includes the option of a public vote. That is absolutely clear from me. It's clear from the Labour Party conference. Passed unanimously, that conference, and nothing Jeremy has said is intended to disturb that. And I think just trying to find differences between us, OK, fine, but actually the party position is very clear.
OK, clearing up Labour's Brexit policy live here on Sky News Sunrise. Shadow Brexit Secretary Keir Starmer, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.